Hey, what's up, fam? The consistent, very consistent arc for Black Clover has been really good with the elves going over and trying to take over. It's just been it's been a lot of fun the way that the arc has been laid out. And like I've been saying, I don't think there's been a bad arc in the series, and it's picked up so heavy and so nicely ever since the dungeon arc, years ago. It just kept on such a good, either steady or rising level of excitement and quality. But let me get to the chapter, like, in a minute. I'm gonna go over like these really nice color spreads. We got the Shonen Jump cover, which is Asta sitting in his throne with this really cool stained glass window behind him, shape of a three-leaf clover, and each of the leaves has a couple of the Magic Knight Order symbols on them, which is really nice looking. I really like the colors in this. Asta's got he's got his new sword, which is super thin. Yeah, I feel like it'll be way more for like support and like utility use, and way less for melee combat. I don't know. We'll see. It just seems like it looks brittle. It looks like it's just so thin that it could break easy. I don't know though. So right after that, we get this really cool one with Nozzle, Fuego Leon, Yami, and Jack all with their weapons out, going in for battle, which just looks really cool. And it's really weird because when you watch the anime, and like they get all these aesthetic parts of the characters right, but there's just like parts of the way that they animate it and they do their animation style versus the actual manga art. Just like there's like so many weird gaps with like their faces and stuff. You get that for um a lot of anime for like weekly anime based off weekly manga. I don't know. I just think it's a little bit more like noticeable there, at least for me. But the chapter kind of starts out. Obviously, Finral and Languish's dad is like, how has he got such crazy spatial magic? There shouldn't be guys who can just cancel each other out like this, like in the country. But Finral, who's more of a, moving like areas of space either through like portals, just like making gaps where people can, make little hops around, or using his flapping his archangels. I just said archangel, archangels flapping wings, which hit somebody, teleports them somewhere. So his is more of like kind of moving space and creating openings in space, whereas Langris is more of like deleting pockets of space and just like erasing areas in general. So when the two hit, they cancel each other out, which is pretty cool. And we saw that in the Royal Knights exam, but there is obviously a gap between their magical power and like the quantity that they can kind of put out. Langris definitely is stronger than Finral, especially now that Rattray's taken over his body, and it just seems like he's in a dangerous spot. But luckily, he's got two badass captains for Finral to help, save his brother. But I don't really know what they would really plan to do here with when your offense are two super bladed like madmen almost, especially Jack. But it seems like the leader of his house. I don't remember is this because I know there's two family names because it's Finral is what Rula Klaus and Langers is. I don't even want to try and pronounce this name. You know what I mean. They have different moms, but I'm wondering which one is the main family name. I'd have to look it up because I don't remember off the top of my head. But I don't know if this was actually in the last chapter too. But Langers' mom being there, I just probably didn't notice her, but she's probably freaking out seeing like not understanding what's going on in Languish's body. They're able to let those guys escape. But when it comes to the king, right when Finral opened a portal, Radtree just canceled it out and was like, nah, that guy's not going anywhere. The main thing he's clearly there to do is kill the king, which I don't see him really letting up on. They're going to have to beat him, otherwise I doubt he's going to give up that assault on him. And like, Augustus he's a douche, but he's never come off as like evil or like malefic or really corrupt. He just always seemed like jealous of Julius, but he never came off as really a horrible person. I mean, the closest thing was when he was pissed off at like who was it? I think it was Aston crew, and he wanted to punish him. I don't remember if he like, the full extent. I think he wanted to get jailed or like beheaded or something. I mean, it's definitely not the best thing he could do, but he never nothing evil. This seems to be kind of like over dramatic and stuff, really quick to use his authority, which is within his right, but at the same time is there's nothing in there that seems evil, at least yet. Just a huge douchey, and he doesn't deserve to die from it as he is right now. I feel like he's still gonna die. I don't think there's a reason to keep his character around. The dude is. I don't think he's got even one fan. I think in the fan base, I don't think anybody likes him. I don't think he deserves to die, but if he does, not a big deal. I also really like seeing Jack's insanity tear spell is just this big flurry of blades, which is pretty sick, but obviously falling right after. Brought out that super dangerous spell from Ratri from Langris's arsenal, now empowered by Ratri of the Archangels. Shoot down and now being countered, just like when we saw it within the Magic Knight exams, or sorry, the Royal Knight Magic Knight exams, of Finral using his Archangel's flapping wings to counter it, but obviously the quantity that they can make was different, and Finral's like, you guys are gonna have to, get rid of some of them. I can't get all of them. But then we see like Yami drop his black hole, which is pretty sick. It's always cool to see spells being absorbed by that. And then Jack reinforcing his legs with magic so he can move around quicker and faster. A nice lightless slash from Yami, just trying to go in, trying to cut that big that really cool automatic spatial defense that Ratchery has. That if anything comes close enough, it'll just be like spatially erased. Always really cool. I've always wondered actually if it's spatially erased or if it's like a deadly teleportation. Like if he just teleported it like at such a speed, like if you put your arm in there instead of like erasing your arm, it would just be like instantly teleports it, and somewhere there just be like sliced up chunks of your arm just laying there. But obviously now, because of the way that his sword works, the way that his magic works with Jack's blade, and its main thing being how fast it adapts to what it cuts. He's like the main kind of trump card that they can use in this scenario. Because Yami has his Dimension Slash, but that's like a big technique for him, whereas it's the automatic for Jack's style. So he goes in, slashes one of the Archangel's shoot down spells, and now he's his spatial magic equipped to his sword, so he's now able to cut spatial magic. And really, he's just like with the way that it is, anybody who's got like say like an elemental body, like is like a type of intangible, like someone like the Juvia from Fairy Tail or Crocodile from One Piece, anybody like that who's got an elemental body, but obviously magic is important to it. So not really entirely for One Piece characters, but you know what I mean. I was just using as an example. Anybody who's got like can turn into an element for like defensive or offensive properties. This is completely like rendered moot from Jack's ability to adapt to that and able to cut it at that point. We get a double death scythe dimension slash combo. Two attacks are going to be cutting space, which cancel out Finral or not Finral, Rattri's ability, and now Finral was able to do a really cool counter after helping Jack and Yami when more of those shoot down attacks started coming toward them. Obviously in mass quantity, they got to be careful. And Finral, who you'd see him like, he's mostly like he's a support and defensive person, but here, right when Rattray comes in, he doesn't. He like notices last second that when Finral moved his arms back, he actually shot two of his, or he directed two of his Archangel's flap down spells and went back, hit Yami and Jack, bringing them forward in teleportation, so they kind of just appeared right in front of him. His Archangel's flapping wings has a really, even though it's got a weird name, it's got a really cool effect. I just really like that quick, really fast, selective teleportation that it has, and just leads up to this really cool panel of them going in for an attack much closer. And this could be the point where they hopefully get the win on the dude, and end this fight and move on to the bigger members of the elves. Because after Rattree, I feel like it's just captains and up. I feel like below captain level elves, Rattree is just like that last step. So that's gonna be really exciting to see. Plus, like it took this much to beat him, so obviously it's gonna take a lot more to beat anybody else. But like I said, keep saying I still don't think they're gonna win in this arc. They're gonna have to retreat. So really good chapter. I really like seeing Finral every time. He's been really great ever since the Water Temple arc. He's always just keeps progressing, being a really cool character. Yami and Jack are as badass as they've been, and Ratchet just continues to be an intimidating villain without having to be too crazy OP, which has been a lot of fun. So tell me what you think in the chapter and description below. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Check out my other videos. I mostly do manga and anime stuff. I don't even know what word I was trying to use there. Mongly? But otherwise, if you're subscribed to the channel, I appreciate you. But otherwise, thank you very much for listening.